day, everyone. Welcome to TCS Plus. My name is Siobhan Omani, and it gives me great pleasure today to welcome as a guest Louise Steenekamp, AFSUG board member and head of IT at Aspen Pharmacare. Welcome, Louise.
Thank you very much.
Louise is here today to chat to us, amongst other things, about Saphila 2023, AFSUG's world-class biennial conference, which makes its post-pandemic comeback from July 2023 at Sun City. Louise, before we jump into things, would you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role as an AFSUG board member?
Yes, sure. So my day job is head of IT for Aspen Pharmacare's commercial business in South Africa. I am an AFSUG board member looking after the digital portfolio. So AFSUG's board consists of customers and SAP partners who volunteer their time to run the organisation.
Now, AFSUG, or the African SAP User Group, is an independent non-profit organisation. Its primary focus is to create a platform where SAP customers and partners can connect within the SAP ecosystem, share information, and communicate with peers and experts. Having said that, can you chat us a little bit more about how AFSUG supports SAP users, partners, and so forth?
Yes, sure. So AFSUG it aims to create a platform for people to connect. Personally, I've been involved with AFSUG and its events and connections in different capacities. So whether you are a consultant working for a consulting company, needing to either showcase or see information, see what new things there are in SAP, see how to solve problems, or if you're an SAP customer wanting to connect with peer customers, also understanding how they've solved similar problems, it really is a phenomenal opportunity for customers and partners to connect in South Africa and in Africa. Another part of AFSUG that some people don't always realize is that it also has an impact back up into SAP. Of course, it is all about the technology. So there are instances where the user group actually through their interactions and discoveries feed back to SAP as well, which then influences in some cases either extensions of support or technology changes and things like that. So it's really just an opportunity for an ecosystem of people who interact with SAP software to connect.
Fantastic. And as an SAP user yourself in your day-to-day work, as well as an AFSUG board member, could you chat us a little bit about some of the key challenges faced by SAP users in Africa, and perhaps give some examples of how AFSUG has helped to address these for members?
Yes, sure. So in Africa, you have very similar challenges that you have across the world in terms of access to resources, especially with the speed of technology and the need for resources to understand not only the technology but also have a fair understanding of the business. So I think that's universal. In Africa, often those challenges are amplified because you've got the addition of logistical challenges in some cases. Things are far apart. Connectivity in some cases is phenomenal, even better than in South Africa, but in other cases not so much. AFSUG provides a platform not only in person but also online. So we've got multiple online events, webinars, again just an opportunity for people to connect and to share ideas and to help each other grow. So some of it also entails education. There is some, not necessarily formal training, but a lot of how-tos that happens. It's also from a customer perspective, it's really nice to have that forum where you've got access to other customers. I've seen sessions where, for instance, large banking groups have presented something that have really helped some mining groups, nowhere near the same industry. But because they face similar problems or challenges from a technology or people perspective, they can really learn from each other and help each other grow.
That's fantastic. It's a really great forum for users to come together and just openly and transparently work together as a community to solve some of their common challenges. You spoke about some of the events, webinars and so forth. So that takes me to Saphila 2023. And I think let's chat about that a little bit. AFSUG is holding the upcoming conference, as we said, in July of this year. Can you give us an overview of what attendees can expect from the conference and really why it would be important for partners and customers to attend?
Sure. So Saphila, I think this year especially is a very special one, with us having missed the COVID one in 2021. Now, Saphila, just going back to its name, the name actually means we are alive. And I think it's, never a truer time than now. But it also talks to AFSUG as a whole in terms of it being dynamic, being vibrant. All the cultures of Africa and its growing business and ever-changing and evolving business. And it speaks to the SAP technology as well, because it's also over 50 years old, ever-changing, ever-evolving. You can't go wrong with technology, whose customers literally sell most of the chocolate and beer in the world. And I think
a great way to look at it.
people don't often realize that if you bank with some of the big banks or shop at some of the big retailers, you are effectively an SAP customer. So getting back to Saphila, it really brings all of that together in terms of the life, the evolution, the ever-changing, the growth, the newness of things that come to play. What's really cool about Saphila is that you've got 2 focused days. So we start off on the Sunday with, some people come in early. They like to get some golf going. The main sessions are the Monday and the Tuesday, and then there are some evening events as well. But you've got 8 different streams of different really impactful sessions. Where you really get to focus. It's really worthwhile being there, because you get more in those 2 days than you would in those 2 days spread across a few months of webinars, for instance. We've got some phenomenal keynote speakers coming in, some real industry thought leaders. So it's a really good place to not just get information, but to connect with people, grow the network, and make those local connections who you can then touch base with afterwards again.
Fantastic. You've already touched on a lot of, I think, what sounds like exciting features and draw cards that are expected. Perhaps I could put you on the spot and ask you to maybe tell us something you're most looking forward to. You've mentioned international keynote speakers and so forth. Is there one particular session or stream you're looking forward to?
So, that's a difficult one because there's so many. But we do have, for instance, on the first day, enterprise architecture stream, which is quite new, and that's a very also niche, tricky environment just because of the ever-changing technology and the multitude of options available. I'm really also looking forward to the second day where we've got a focus on youth. So we've got a youth stream, which involves bringing in some students, focusing on their growth as well. Having been involved in the industry since the 90s, you've seen a lot of change in terms of young people gaining their experience on big projects, coming under the wing of more senior consultants. And over time, customers didn't want that anymore. They didn't want, people to learn on their time. So the influx of new people really experientially coming through the ranks has diminished somewhat. So events like this just helps bring all of that together. It's a place where people can go and see the opportunities and opens their minds to ask the right questions. We also have some really nice panel discussions coming and some interactive workshops. And then we also, for the first time, are running the conference in hybrid. So it's obviously first prize for people to attend in person because you just get the best of all of it when you're there. But we do have the hybrid option or the online option this year as well.
That's absolutely fantastic. I think especially just to give potentially delegates from outside of South Africa the opportunity to experience some of what we've got to offer.
100%. Yeah, 100%. It definitely opens up the event to people who traditionally might not have been able to travel there. And also it enables companies to send more people effectively because some of them can attend the virtual on the virtual platform. What we're also trying to do with the virtual platform is make it as interactive as possible so that it really feels like you are there in person.
Fantastic. And finally, where can people go to find out more about AFSUG, firstly, and then the upcoming conference?
So the best place is our website. That's www.afsug.com. All the event information you can also find from there, and it's got obviously the AFSUG information. And then email would be info@afsug.com.
Fantastic. Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for today. Louise, thank you so much for joining us again, and just for really, I think, giving some great insight into the great work that AFSUG is doing, as well as the really exciting upcoming conference. It's great to hear about initiatives like involving the youth, particularly in an environment like South Africa and the broader African continent. And then thank you also to our audience for your attention today.
Thank you very much, and I hope to see all of you at Saphila.